All right, joining us now with reaction to the disastrous special counsel report for Joe Biden as Republican presidential candidate, Nikki Haley. Governor, Ambassador, great to have you back. Thank you. Let's get your reaction first to Robert Hur's report and the press conference, the very angry one that occurred right after.
You know, a few things that you look at this. I mean, I think the first thing is you look at the fact that, we got to take the politics out of all of our agencies. I mean, whether this is Clinton, whether this is Biden, whether this is Trump, they all need to be handled fairly. And clearly that's not the case. We have to get rid of the double standard, and that continues to show itself. The second thing is it is unbelievably disturbing that they are showing that they see Biden to not have a good memory, that they see him as diminished, that they see that it's a problem, and they point blank say that. I mean, this is actually dangerous. I mean, I have said, look, people make fun of the fact that I say we need to have mental competency tests. There's a reason 70% of Americans don't want to see a Biden-Trump rematch. The party that gets rid of their 80-year-old candidate is going to be the party that wins. But the third thing that bothers me about this is whether it's Biden or whether it's Trump, they both knew better. You know, when you work around national security documents, you know what's not supposed to leave the office. You don't go bragging about these national security documents. You don't go leave them in a garage. Whatever it is, both these men knew better. And the arrogance that they both had to think they could walk out with these documents and just not think that there were going to be any repercussions, I think is the problem that we have with this. So, I mean, look, it's a disturbing day for America right now, but I think we've got some work to do.
Isn't there a bigger problem, and that is that we don't have equal application of our laws? Look at the Hillary Clinton case. Yeah, top secret classified information, subpoenaed emails, 33,000 deleted, bleach pit, hammers, devices, SIM cards. It seems to be a problem that they all have because I don't think any of them end up packing their own boxes. And the fact that one's criminalized, one of the three gets raided, and the other two happen to be Democrats, that reeks to me of political bias at the Justice Department.
I mean, they both knew what they had. I mean, Trump was bragging about his. Biden's got his in his garage. They knew what they had. But the point is, whether it's Clinton, whether it's Biden, whether it's Trump, treat them the same. And the problem is we have politics in every single agency in D.C., and we have got to clear it up. You can't serve the people if you're going to play partisan politics. And we have seen this for years.
President Trump had one thing. You're missing the point.
You have to clean these systems.
President Alina Habba just mentioned this, the Presidential Records Act. That impacted him. That did not impact Joe. That did not impact Hillary Clinton. Let me move on. Let's talk about your campaign. I know you hate the question, but I've got to ask because it's very real. You go into Iowa, you came in third place. You go into New Hampshire, you lost by double digits. In Nevada, none of the above, basically, or not one of these candidates, at least in the primary, and you're not going to take part in the caucus tonight, which I don't know why you didn't do that, is there. And then we have the Real Clear Politics average. And I'll put it up on the screen. And in your home state of South Carolina, Donald Trump is leading 60 to 29.3%. So my question is, if you go to New Hampshire, Iowa, Nevada happens, you lose your home state, even if you lost it by just double digits, not by 30 points, the question then becomes, what is your path to get the delegates to get the nomination? Because at that point, I mean, don't you think you would have to win your home state?
I appreciate you asking that. You know, I'll tell you, it's interesting because in Iowa, they were all saying, you know, she's never going to make it through Iowa. We started at 2%. We ended with 20%. That was no small feat when we got rid of a dozen of the candidates. Then you go into New Hampshire, we got 43% of the vote. But what's more important, Sean, is you have to acknowledge the Republican incumbent did not get 43% of the vote. That's alarm bells. Then you go into Nevada. I mean, look, we were told months ago that this was a sham. The GOP chair, he's under indictment. He worked with Trump. They created these caucuses. It's written about in news reports. You can look it up on the internet. They planned this thing in the caucus. They said that we had to pay $55,000 if we wanted to be in the caucus with Trump. And so, you know, Nevada didn't mean anything. South Carolina, we're going to work it hard. We're going to bring it in. But I'm telling you, we better pay attention. Look at what we lost. You've got Trump paying $50 million in legal fees from his campaign donations. You've got an RNC that's broke. How do you beat Biden with that? You can't. We have got to have a new generational leader if we're going to move forward. This is not personal about Trump.
But don't you at some point, Ambassador, Governor, don't you at some point have to win something? I mean, you can talk about Iowa, you can talk about New Hampshire, you can check off, you know, Nevada. South Carolina is a little hard to shake off when you were the governor there for 2 terms.
And you'll see us move. We moved 25 points in New Hampshire in those last 3 weeks. We're going to move in South Carolina. We don't do coronation, Sean. You've got 3 states that have happened.
I'm not coronating anybody.
Super Tuesdays.
Are you denying these polls? You deny the polls anywhere that you're saying they're not accurate?
You guys said that I was going to. You're saying that I was going to lose New Hampshire by 30 points and I got 43. So I'm saying that, look, South Carolina hasn't happened yet. We're doing this because we have a country to save. And everybody's blinded by the fact that we've got these 2 80-year-old candidates. I mean, Trump got me confused with Pelosi not too long ago. We need to move forward.
Nikki Haley, thank you for being with us. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.